Hello, welcome to Ambition Unleashed podcast. I'm Marcela Navarrete and I'm your host. Today I am so excited. I get to bring to you one of my very good friends, someone who has been instrumental in helping me heal, and not just me, but so many others all around the world. Dr. Jere Rivera. I don't know how to say the last part of your name. Is it Dugenio?
Yes, very
So,
good.
Dr. Jere Rivera-Dugenio, thank you so much for being on this show, Jerry.
Thank you for having me, Marcella.
You're welcome. So you are the creator and founder of, I just call it the Rasha, but the proper name for it is the Rasha Consciousness Coherence Technology.
Right. RASHA stands for it's an acronym that stands for Reciprocal Antenna Scalar Energy System for Holographic Activation. So we just call it the RASHA.
That's a lot easier because I don't think that most people can repeat. I can't repeat that. So
Right. It's okay.
I like the Rasha. Jer, I remember years ago, I don't even know how many years we've been friends, but I remember many years ago, you told me that you were creating this technology. And so it's so wild to see it now exist and you doing so much to help so many people around the world. What was that process like when you were creating it? And did people think you were nuts when you said, I'm going to create a machine that's going to heal people using mathematics?
Right. So, most people don't know that I died in 2000, right? I died due to a drug overdose that caused a massive heart attack. So prior to 2000, I wasn't into science. I wasn't into base 12 mathematics. I wasn't into anything that has to do with scalar energy, right? So for most people, they don't know what scalar energy is, and Nikola Tesla and a few other very, very smart men of the past knew about scalar energy and knew the profound effects of scalar energy and how our DNA, right, our intron DNA, which is the 98% of the genes that science says are junk. Well, guess what? They're not junk. And we figured out to communicate with the DNA through scalar energy. So yes, and what is scalar energy? I'm sure your listeners are probably wondering what that is.
They're probably like, I'm so happy he just asked that because they're
Right.
trying to Google it as fast as they can so they can keep up with you.
Right. So think of scalar energy as the primordial substance of the cosmos. If you believe and you know that God created the universe, well, did you ever wonder what God utilized to create the universe? Well, scalar energy is let's say, the parent of light and sound, of electric and magnetic. So scalar energy is the primordial foundational, let's say, glue that God used to create creation. So that is what scalar energy is. And when you we weren't taught this in school, Marcella, right?
No.
We weren't taught any of this. So it took me to die, right, and come back. And it took me many, many years to understand all of this new information that I came back with. There's a lot of people that don't know or don't believe in base 12 mathematics because we were taught a finite life form of mathematics, which is base 10, right? We were taught everything in tens.
Yeah.
But why is it all the ancient cultures, the pre-ancient cultures, the Dogons, the Aborigines, the, let's say, Akkadians, Sumerians, the ancient Mayans, the ancient Aztecs, they all learned and they taught a form of base 12 mathematics. It's because base 12 is the number, it is the expansion sequence of eternal life energy. And everything that's not base 12 has to do with finite life, So a lot of people don't think about it, but everyone dies, right?
Yeah.
Everything in this planet dies. Everything in this universe dies. However, we weren't meant to die. I died in 2000, but yet here I am speaking to you on
Thankfully.
your podcast, right?
We're
And
happy
so
you're
that
here.
means, thank you. So there's information that a lot of people on this planet, just because they haven't experienced it, just because they can't reproduce it in their science experiments, they say it doesn't exist. They say that this is all, let's say, fringe science. Well, all of these people are going to have a rude awakening when they finally do die and they realize that there's so much more that we weren't taught on this planet. There's so much more to, let's say, the universe and how our life was meant to be and what our purpose is, right? Because most people don't know what their purpose is.
Sure.
Well, I created the Rasha in order to, let's say, emulate my experience when I actually died, because I was completely healed when I came back into my body. I didn't need a rehab. I didn't, very expensive rehabs, mind you. I didn't have any relapses. My body was pretty much born again, if you will. So, there's a lot to, let's say, information that we weren't taught. And the Rasha was designed to unlock the eternal life human potential that we all hold in the intron DNA.
Now, do you think that we were purposely kept from base 12 and we're purposely not being taught these important things? It doesn't make any sense that so many civilizations practiced this and believed in this,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and now we have strayed away from it. If it worked, why did we stray away from it?
Well, we didn't stray away from it by choice, Let's just say there are interlopers, there are forces out there that want to keep humanity manipulated, controlled, if you will. And it's evident when you take a look at humanity today, right? You take
Absolutely.
a look at humanity overall, and humans are the only race that end up killing each other just for fun or for no reason at all. You don't see animals doing that, right? You don't see insects doing that. It's usually for a purpose. But, there are things we can go really deep into that your viewers are probably going to say, well, where the heck did this guy come from? Yeah, well, I died and I came back to share certain information that not everyone will resonate with, but those that do, like yourself, and hopefully your listeners will it'll light a light bulb in their head, perhaps, and spark their interest into wanting to know more information that we weren't taught.
Yeah, and it's incredible to the extent that you're able to help people, because you've helped me with so many different aspects in my life. And you've helped me with my seizures, you've helped me with Lyme disease, you've helped me with manifestation when I felt confused and just not sure which direction life was taking me. And then you helped me in my most recent chapter after becoming a mom, and then again my life completely changing, and where do I go and where do I fit in this world, and what is my new purpose. And every chapter I've had, you've been able to use the technology that you created to assist me. So I think that's so incredibly important for people to know, that no matter where they are, no matter what their issue is, or even if they don't think they have an issue, the Rasha has something to offer everyone.
Right. It's not really the Rasha per se. The Rasha is just a very, very advanced communication tool, if you will, that communicates to the person. And it really unlocks the latent abilities that everyone has. So in essence, you really healed yourself, right? And you learn to manifest and materialize things in your life. But that all was held in your DNA. The Rasha simply unlocks everyone's unique genetic potential, right? So you did all the work. The Rasha just helped.
I'm grateful to have had the Rasha help. You also, I got to experience something fairly new that you started. It's called the Rasha Dome, where people are allowed to enter this giant tent-like dome and sit in there, and their body literally vibrates, and you have us sit in a chair, if I'm not mistaken, like at a 45-degree angle, and there's a reason why it has to be at that angle. I remember you telling me, but the the experience of the Rasha Dome is so incredible, and I don't know how to explain it. Can you explain it to listeners so they can understand what that feels like and what it does?
Well, okay. I'm sure your listeners, well, if you haven't heard about, you've seen the Las Vegas Sphere, right? Which is kind of a half a dome, right?
Sure.
So the Rasha Dome is a half a sphere, and it is a geometrical base 12 structure that on the inside it protects to a certain degree from electromagnetic pollution and electromagnetic frequencies that are harmful. So you are precisely and literally in a, let's say, protective half sphere, and it was designed so that when people engage, right, with the Rasha technology itself, that there's less epigenetic and, let's say, outside interference that could potentially stand in the way of that person's self-healing process, et cetera, et cetera. So the dome is like a cosmic womb, but it's very, very safe. It's very protective in terms of against all the harmful electromagnetic frequencies, and it's just designed so that the person inside can actually drop into a much more relaxed state much faster.
What a great way to describe it, because I've never felt the relaxation that I felt when I was inside the Rasha. And it was just, as soon as you step in, you feel this just weight come off your shoulders, and you have no choice but to relax. It's such an incredible feeling. You also use it to help UFC fighters. Is it
Mm-hmm.
before they enter the ring so they can do better, or after they enter the ring to heal, or what are you doing for UFC fighters?
Right. So it's not just UFC, but it's also bare knuckle, BKFC, and also boxers and Olympic swimmers. And actually we have youth, very, very good youth golfers out there, and European football players. But as far as athletes, it could be high performance athletes, it could be high performance individuals like CEOs and execs. But for athletes, we have them come pre-training and then post-training. And what it does is it allows that athlete, or let's say a high performance executive, to focus on their intention, to actually visualize what it is they want to create, whether it's a championship, whether it's, greater earnings in their Fortune 500 company. So it actually helps that individual really focus by relaxing, right? Their parasympathetic. It goes, the autonomic nervous system goes into parasympathetic, which is a self-healing, relaxing mode of the body. And then the brain gets harmonized, and then they're able to drop into this, what we call brain harmonization, focus, consciousness, coherence, focus, and they're literally able to visualize. Even those that can't see are able to visualize what it is they want to, create in their lives. So with UFC fighters, BKFC fighters, Olympic swimmers, I mean, the list goes on, and how these athletes have utilized the Rasha in order to break world records, to win world championships, to win very, very, let's say, hard fought combat sports fights. So it really is a true testament, Marcella, to the power of true human potential at any stage.
You also offer a live stream that people can listen to on I know you're doing one today at noon, but on what days can you tell the listeners so that they can access that live stream and see for themselves what the Rasha offers?
Yeah, so for those that can't actually physically, see us and get to a Rasha, we offer a Rasha live stream every month on the 12th of every month at
Okay.
12:12 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. And it's a free sample of what the Rasha is capable of. So all you need is really a headset, right? A computer or your phone, and you can get a sample of the live stream.
We'll include the link for Jer. I honestly, my biggest wish is for everyone to experience the Rasha. I know what it's done for me in my life. I've seen what it's done for others. And if I could just give that gift to everyone I love, even if I don't know them, I think it's just one of the most amazing gifts you can give someone is that opportunity to experience the Rasha and see how they feel afterwards and see how their life changes. Now, I had the privilege of going with you to the Philippines on a mission trip. You founded a charity and you help women and children. And I know when I went with you, we went to the Philippines and we brought the Rasha along with Quinton and other stuff to children in the Philippines struggling with autism. And I remember you said we were going to help the children. We would notice a difference in their demeanor in a couple days or after they tried the Rasha for a couple sessions. And Jere, I've never seen anything like it. I think it's something someone has to witness firsthand to truly believe in it. I remember children going in that couldn't speak. They were completely nonverbal. I remember this one little boy who was about 8 or 10 years old, and he was screaming and he had his hands on his ears, and his mother couldn't even sit him down. And we were able to sit him down for the rush. And I think after the third day, it was like a totally different child. And
Yeah.
he was much more calm, much more accepting of the Rasha frequencies. Can you tell us what you've noticed in helping children with autism?
Sure. The foundation is called the Jere Rivera Foundation. That was founded actually by my mother, Dr. Rebecca C. Rivera,
Who is
and I am the
amazing, by the
president.
way. I love your mom.
And thanks. And we're gearing up for another mission in a few days. But essentially, because people ask, what could you do really in 1 week to these children? How can you heal them? It's not really about healing them, right? It's about changing and having a shift in their consciousness, right? Consciousness likened to energy, right? So, the kids, when they come in, their consciousness shifts and they're more aware, they're more awake, and they're more able to actually do what they were meant to do as children, right? Not labeled as autistic spectrum disorder or other whatever special needs labels that these kids come to us with, but it's the shift in their consciousness, right? Because everything is consciousness. The whole planet, the whole galaxy, creation is consciousness or energy. So when we shift their consciousness, these children actually change, and you were seeing testimony to that, in the Philippines. So, it's about really helping them and their consciousness, their mindset, their belief systems, right? And this all is done just by a simple exposure for 1 week to the Rasha, because the Rasha unlocks their true potential that is stored in their intron potential DNA. Everything is about the DNA. The key to the universe lies in the DNA.
Jere, I've never seen someone quite like you who literally has dedicated their entire life to helping people unlock their DNA and helping them in every way possible. Ever since I have known you, that's all I've seen you do for others, and just so graciously and willingly, and not, there's no ulterior motive, there's nothing you want in return, but just to help people, anyone around the world. And so I think that's absolutely incredible. And I love hearing these amazing stories, and I love hearing about lives being impacted because you created this technology.
I'm glad that you feel that way, and I'm very grateful and honored that you have me on your show today. So, and I just wanted to let everyone know, wherever you are in your life, right? Whatever you're experiencing in your life, if you really want to truly change it, right? Or make your life better or someone else's life better, it all lies in the DNA, right? And once you unlock it, and in reality, in a perfect world, you wouldn't need the Rasha, right? But last time I checked, we don't live in a perfect world. We're far from it. So we need all the help we can get in order to unlock what everyone has at their center of their intron DNA. And I look forward for your listeners to reach out to us. and hopefully experience it one day.
Jared, how do our listeners go about reaching out to you to experience the Rasha? Where do you recommend we send them?
Yeah, so they can go to the website. It's the Rasha RASHA.com, right? Rasha, therasha.com, or Instagram. It's Rasha Revolution. Um, they can find me through your Instagram.
Absolutely. I will we'll share, Jerry, and I hope that you do reach out to him, and we'd love to hear your feedback. Let us know what you think of your Rasha experience. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Have a good day.